What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and today, once again, we are in the toy room with another toy review. That's right, we are hitting this toy review thing hard this week, all right? Because I've got a lot of toys that I've been wanting to do reviews of and just haven't gotten around to it. And so today we're going to be doing one of those. But before we do that, I want to remind you that this month we also have a giveaway. We've been doing giveaways every month, and this month is no different. This month we are giving away this Aquaman movie Orm action figure with his battle armor. He's got this thing called Hydrotech where he changes color in water. You can put him in water and he changes color. It's a pretty cool basic figure, and this can be yours if you want it. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, also hit notifications, and let me know down in the comment section that you want to be in the running for the figure, all right? So, hey, we love people, we love subscribers, we love toys, and we want to give you this toy. So make sure to get in on this action. All right, today we're talking about a cool figure that I'm really glad to finally be doing a review of. And of course, that is the Star Wars Black Series Archive Boba Fett action figure. Now, of course, I have the original Boba Fett, and we're gonna compare the two, but we're gonna take this guy out of the package and go ahead and take a look at him. So let's do that now. So there was a day in time not too long ago when so many other people like me loved Boba Fett. They wanted more Boba Fett, all the Boba Fett they could get. Nowadays, it seems like, well, some of that love has faded and people aren't as excited about Boba Fett, and now we want other Mandalorians. But that's okay, because I still love the Fett Man, and let's talk about this figure. First of all, this is the Star Wars Black Series figure, so it's got the Star Wars Black Series logo up at the top. Of course, it's got the Archive along the side here, where it says Archive. And then everything else is just pretty much the exact same as the original. It's got Boba Fett here, his name, and then some great artwork right here on the bottom. I love this artwork so much, I actually kept this piece and put it with my Boba Fett collection. Here is the back of the card. On the left-hand side here, we have the shadow artwork. Once again, the full shadow artwork of Boba Fett, the Star Wars Black Series logo, and of course, a picture of the original Boba Fett Black Series figure from 2013, and a little bio down here that says the notorious bounty hunter Boba Fett prepares to deliver the carbonite frozen Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt. You know, so many legends about Boba Fett, and whether or not he's still around, who knows? We may see him again someday. Here's a little bit of a comparison between this Boba Fett and, of course, the original Black Series Boba Fett. How many times can I say Boba Fett in this review? You know what? You just have to count that. But here we have the comparison between the two. As you can see, it's pretty much the exact same figure, but this figure, I won't take this out of the package just because I love it too much the way it displays. And of course, if you've seen my wall of Black Series figures, you know that I keep them all in the box, and I've got them displayed all up against a wall. It's got the same bio here on the back with the shadow artwork there, and as you can see, that's what it looks like there. But that's why I bought this Archive figure, because I wanted to be able to take it out of the package and be able to have something to display, because I love the Black Series figures. And as much as I would love to just take them out of the package and display them that way, I also collect the 3 3/4 figures. So, and I do take all of those out of the package for the most part. And so having this in the box and hanging on a wall is a unique display for me, for my figures. Now here is the Boba Fett concept figure that was released. This was a Walmart exclusive, and I remember the day that I found this in the wild, and I was super excited about it. It's more common than I thought it would be, and it's actually not as sought after as I originally thought it would be. Of course, this has a bio on here that talks about how this was a prototype figure. Boba Fett was originally seen as a shock trooper of some kind before they put the color on him and developed the Mandalorian story. You know, background behind the character. He was originally just kind of a shock trooper, and we got a little bit of that in Attack of the Clones, where we see that the clones were made from Jango Fett, and of course Boba Fett was the younger clone there. This is what Boba Fett looks like in the bubble. I like to take these out and show these, and if you've seen any of my reviews, you know that I used to play with these kind of things and act like they were frozen in carbonite, the figure. So this is kind of ironic here, given the fact that it's Boba Fett. But this is what Boba Fett looks like I said, in this plastic. These are his weapons. He's got the long rifle there, the pistol, the jetpack, and just a really good looking figure. I really dig this. Look at that, the intricate sculpting on the weapon even. It's just a nice figure. And I'm so glad that they released this in the first wave of the archive, because I have the other figures in the archive as well. And I was going to get a Bosk, but I ended up getting the original Bosk literally the week that the archive Bosk came out. But this one was the one I had to have to be able to display out of the package. So here is Boba Fett here. We're going to go over some of his articulation and his accessories. Let's take a closer look. As you can see here, he's got that famous dent in his helmet right there. Got to be careful when getting aboard Slave One. You can see here the paint job is just really, really good. There's no head underneath there. It's not a removable helmet, but I like the scrapings and the scuff marks here on the helmet itself that you can see through to the silver below. He does have this hole on his back where his jetpack goes. We'll talk about that in a minute. But look at these straps all over here, and just the difference in colors with the patches, and of course the gauntlets here on his arm, and of course his chest plate, and all those things. Of course the dart and flamethrower there on his left arm, the knee pads. And you can see here it simulates, that they're dirty. That's what I always loved about Boba Fett's costume was, it looked lived in, right? That was one thing I didn't like about Jango Fett's. Well, it just made it look different, was because Jango's was so pristine and so clean, but it still looked really cool given the grays and the silvers and the blues. But let's take a look at Boba Fett's articulation here. His head is on a ball joint, so it will go all the way around, kind of like Jango Fett's did. It does go up and down. Jango Fett's came right off, so you got to be careful. Now, his arm will go out, but of course, because of his shoulder pad here with the Mandalorian symbol on it, look at that. Looks really good there. Because of that, it won't go all the way out. So you could force it, but you risk breaking it, and so I wouldn't suggest that. His arm does have a bicep swivel here that you can swivel it around here at the elbow. Actually, no bicep swivel, but at the elbow. And you see here it goes around, and my figure is really tight here on the joints. So you always want to be really careful when you open up one of these things brand new, and try not to force it too much. And you kind of got to get it just right so that you know which way it's going to bend, so that you don't snap it off. I see so many stories of people trying to force their figures into positions and things like that. Sometimes you just got to work at it a little bit, have some patience, and don't try to go too fast with these things. Figure out your figure, because sometimes you think you know the way something moves, and that's not the way it moves. Now, here is his hand. He only comes with one set of hands, so this is it, and this of course holds his gun. Now, his hand does come with a back and forth option here, where it does go back and forth and spin around. I am going to get this thing to bend one way or another. There we go. So now he can hold his weapon very well. Of course, he's got that finger for that trigger, and he's got one on the other side here, but we'll talk about that. Of course, he has the shoulder pad up there, and can only go so far. And of course, are those Wookiee braids, or are they Jedi Padawan braids? We may never know. No, they're Wookiees. I remember there was some controversy a few years ago about that, and people were questioning that. Of course, the right arm is the exact same as the left arm, and his hand goes around just like this, and of course bends back and forth at the wrist. Again, very tight on this figure. I'm not going to push it too much, because I don't want it to break. And I spent enough time trying to find this one archive figure. I tell you what, this is not an easy figure to find. And, people have gone out and just bought a lot of them. He's got a little bit of an ab crunch, but because he has that chest plate, he doesn't get much of an ab crunch, so he's not working on those abs too much. Of course, he's got these pouches here for his belt. A little bit of an ab crunch, but he does turn around at the waist, so you can move him all the way around just like so. He will do the splits for a little bit, not as much as some other figures, but you can see down here, his legs only go out so far. He does have a thigh swivel right there, goes all the way around. And then of course at the knee, he's got a double bend there on the knee. So a double joint, which is always nice for posing. And of course his ankle here does go up and down. Again, this figure is nice and tight on all these joints. I prefer that, you know, as opposed to loose joints. So I'm not going to complain too much about that, because you can always work these in. You know, once a joint is loose, then you got to try to figure out ways to get it to come back. But of course, he has the thigh swivel here, the double bend at the knee, and of course, up and down once again. Goes, it will go back and forth here, but it does go up and down at the ankle. And he's got holes. I don't ever see any pegs for these guys, but maybe one day, you know, they will. It's kind of an aftermarket thing where you can get stands. All right, now let's take a look at his accessories. We have here his rifle, which is a rifle, but it kind of looks like an old-fashioned Magnum pistol, doesn't it? It's amazing the things that they used back then to make things work just by adding a little bit onto it. And so it looks like he would do Dirty Harry proud with this thing, but of course it's got the rifle backstock there. And then of course here is his pistol, which we don't really get to see that much of in the movies, but it's a cool little pistol, and some nice detail on there. And as you'll see, that fits very nicely into his hand here in a minute, and looks really good with the figure. Here is his jetpack, and it's pretty just accurate to the movie. You know, he's got the missile up there at the top. Of course, he's got the 2 jets there, and of course that is the peg that goes into his back with the 2 other little pegs. And not a lot of paint on this, but I'll show you how this goes in. He's got his cape there. This cape is made out of a nice material. It's nice, thick, heavy duty, almost like a canvas. And so as you see right here, this peg goes in right here, so you can suit Boba Fett up, so he can accidentally get hit in the back and slam into the side of Jabba's sail barge and fall into the Sarlacc pit. Now, how many of you out there really hope that one day they'll reveal that he did in fact survive the Sarlacc pit? I know that I'm one of those people. I would love to see more stories with Boba Fett, and I'm one of the people who are actually who was actually excited about the idea that he was going to get his own movie. And I would have liked to have seen him even in the Solo movie. I think that would have worked, or been a nice setup maybe for a future movie. Here we have his gun. Now, his gun doesn't go into his hand the way that you might think that it should. It this gun just kind of has a weird way about it. It's got a weird handle here where everything doesn't kind of go like you would normally think it would, and so it kind of wants to give you a little bit of a hard time getting it in, and it takes some doing. Ta-da! There it is. And as you can see here, this finger, the trigger finger, really doesn't go too well into the gun itself. I've tried a few different times, and just for the sake of time, I'm not going to mess with it too much more. I'm just going to kind of leave it the way that it is with him holding on to the handle. Now you'll see that this gun goes really well into the left hand, and the trigger finger slides really nicely right into the trigger space there, the trigger hole, and looks correct. So I really dig that. So you can do with that what you will. Now he does have this holster over here. I like the pistol maybe in the left hand or the right hand, you know, either way, but of course the holster is on the right side. So you know, maybe I have to take a different look at this, but this does work out nicely where you can put it in his arms like this and pose him accordingly. Here is Boba Fett with all of his accessories and just standing up. He stands really well. He's a great looking figure. Overall, I am so glad that I was able to find this in the wild. Didn't have to get it on the secondhand market because, you know, people have been buying these, snatching these up and selling these for quite a bit on eBay. Now, the archive ones don't go for as much as the original Black Series figure, so you can still get a good deal on this, and this is just as good if you take it out of the package. So there you have it. That is my review of the Black Series Archive Boba Fett action figure. What do you think of this figure? Do you like it? How do you like it compared to the original Black Series? Do you have both? Do you have maybe just one? Let me know down in the comment section. Also, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I would love to see how you display your figures. So please, leave me a picture, leave me a video, tell me what you think. I would love to hear from you because I love to talk to other toy collectors and enthusiasts about what we love doing, and that is collecting toys and displaying toys. All right, so let me know that. Also, don't forget, we're giving away this Orm action figure. I want to give it to you, so please hit subscribe, hit notifications, and tell me down in the comment section that you want the figure. All right, till next time, my name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and may the force be with you. We'll see you next time. Keep collecting. Bye-bye. Hey guys, if you made it this far in the video, you are awesome. Thank you guys so much for your support. Please smash that like button and of course subscribe, and also hit that notifications bell so that you are aware when we put out new videos, which is like all the time. Thanks for being a part of the Poindexter Lounge, and we'll see you next time.